Tonight, the Carolina Hurricanes have their second straight home game tonight against the Florida Panthers. It is going to be a very tough one tonight, folks. Find out what they need to do to get the win in this episode of Locked On Hurricanes.
You're Locked On Hurricanes, your daily podcast on the Carolina Hurricanes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey there, Caniacs. I'm your host, Jared Ellis, and you're listening to Locked On Hurricanes on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And as always, thank you for making Locked On Hurricanes your first listen of this Thursday afternoon. And the Carolina Hurricanes are back at home tonight to take on the visiting Florida Panthers. And it is going to be a tough one, folks. But the Hurricanes are definitely going to be up for the challenge. They are going for their fourth straight win and their 15th win in their last 20 games. So the Hurricanes have been on a roll as of late, really ever since that players only meeting, really. And tonight is also Pride Night for the Hurricanes. They unveiled their Pride Night warm-up jerseys yesterday afternoon. They are very, very nice. I really like them. And I also love that they're doing the warm-up jerseys. It's been a minute since the Hurricanes have done Pride Night warm-up jerseys as well. So I love that they did them. They're designed by Chelsea Amato, probably pronouncing that wrong, so I do apologize. They're originally from Queens, currently live in Durham. I do suggest go read the article that they put out yesterday afternoon when the jerseys were unveiled for a full breakdown of the jersey. Artist, explains all the different designs element in there. There's a bunch of flowers that symbolize different meanings for the community there. And they're all worked into the Hurricanes logo. I really like it. It pops. It's very clean. I really like it. So do go read the article there for a full breakdown of all the design elements there. Very, very interesting read. I do highly, highly recommend. And both teams are coming off of wins as well. As we talked about earlier today, the Hurricanes' last one was that 6-3 win over the Chicago Blackhawks on Monday. For Florida, is a 3-2 win in overtime over Ottawa on Tuesday. So both teams coming in here riding hot, both on win streaks. And both are also number 2 in their respective divisions also. And the Hurricanes, as I said, are coming in hot. Seth Jarvis, he has been arguably the Hurricanes' best player in the new year. He is on a 4-game point streak right now. He is, and this is his second 4-game point streak in 2024 already. And it's just kind of end of mid-February time of the year. So crazy for him. He's had at least 1 point in 14 of the 18 games in 2024 and has 12 points in his last 10 games. So he is absolutely tearing it up for the Hurricanes. We'll talk about his projected season end of season totals over the weekend when we look at predicting all of that stuff. And I think he's going to be a guy that the Hurricanes kind of look at to really be a big contributor in tonight's game against Florida, because they are going to be such stiff competition. They're going to need a guy like Jarvis that, again, arguably has been their best player in the new year, and everything that he's been doing as of late. They're going to need that tonight. Teuvo Teravainen, also another guy that is on a hot streak right now, 11 points in his last 10 games. So we all know how good he is at setting guys up for goals. So that's definitely going to be something that they're really going to be looking at tonight. Whether it's, obviously he's been down on the fourth line with Kokanyemi and Nazen. Yeah, tried to help get things going for those guys. Kokanyemi was obviously able to get back on the score sheet the other night against the Blackhawks, who I believe Teravainen factored in on that one. I believe he did. Yes, he did. He did have an assist there on that Kokanyemi goal, along with Dmitry Orlov. So that's why they put him down there, to help Kokanyemi get going again, help Steph Nazen get going again. He's on a bit of a dry streak. So if they can continue that magic, that would be really beneficial to the team tonight. Or, we know how Brind'amour is, when it comes to lines mid-game of things shifting around. So, if, Teravainen, for whatever reason, would get bumped up, you put him with a guy like Jarvis that's been killing it as of late. I mean, which, that whole line of Martinook, Stahl, and Jarvis has been stellar. So whether they break them up or not, I don't necessarily know about that. But say you put him with a guy like Jarvis that's been really good. Sebastian Aho, who just hit 20 goal mark on the season, you put him back up with him. And Svech, the things that they could do would be, really beneficial in this game tonight for the Hurricanes, but we'll just have to wait and see on that stuff. And then this was an interesting little tidbit in the Hurricanes write-up for the game. And also, I don't think it was meant to be like this, but it's extremely bold and extremely big. I think that was just a little bit of a formatting error there. But it says 86 has now posted 398 points in 534 games since joining the Canes in 2016-2017. And that is tied for fourth most points by any Finn over that span. So crazy to think about for him. He's been a really big contributor for the Hurricanes, since he came over from Chicago. So, definitely going to be looking at him to be contributing offensively tonight. We've been talking about it for a little bit now, and we'll probably be talking about it for a little bit longer just because he's not a points guy, but Jacob Slavin still chasing Justin Falk in the record books, with his next one, currently sits at 257 career points. Next one will tie him with Justin Falk for most by a defenseman in Canes Whalers history. Probably going to be waiting on that a little bit again, because like we've been saying, he's not a points guy. So, it is what it is there. But one thing that will be a wild card tonight is the goaltending for the Hurricanes. Spencer Martin has won 3 in a row for the Hurricanes. Last one coming off of that win against the Blackhawks. And that was because Pyotr Kochetkov was unavailable because he was sick or illness, as it is officially listed. But it'll be interesting to see whether or not he can go tonight. I've said, for a little bit now, like when Brett Pesce was out, so there's kind of been like a little bug going around Raleigh. I had it. So I don't know if that's necessarily what it is, just that bug making its way into the Hurricanes roster. But I don't know. We'll see. I think if Kochetkov can play tonight, I think he's likely gonna go, so he can start getting back in the groove of things. It'd be a heck of a game to do it, though. That's the thing. It is against the Panthers, and that's going to be a very it's going to be a tough one. That'd be a very tough one because Florida is really good. So for a guy to come back after being out for a few days, being sick, to go against a team like that, that's a tough one. But we obviously know Kochetkov would be up to the challenge, as well as the Hurricanes, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see on that. So far this morning, haven't heard anything out there about it, so we'll just have to wait and see. I think if he can go, he goes. But it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if they went with Spencer Martin. It really wouldn't, because he's been playing good, and you are going to be going against really, really tough competition here tonight. What's the Hurricanes' next game after this one? They have Florida tonight, and then uh, Dallas in their next game. So that'll be an interesting one of where does he fall back into the lineup. But we'll just have to wait and see on that. I'm really, again, looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a tough one. And that's a thing I cannot stress enough, of just how tough this game is going to be for the Hurricanes. And we will dive into that right after this quick break, folks. Now, folks, grocery bills are so expensive these days, but now they don't have to be. Start getting cash back on your grocery shopping with the free Ibotta app and get cash back every time you shop. Do you love making money but also love spending money? We all do. And Ibotta is a free app that gives you the most cash back every time you shop on hundreds of items, from groceries, beauty supplies to toys, and much more. So you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. The average Ibotta user earns $256 per year. That could cover the cost of an entire shopping trip. So you can buy that flight you've been eyeing, that game you've been dying to go to, or that fancy dinner you've been craving. Other apps give you points that don't amount to much, but with Ibotta, you just add your offers in the app, upload your receipt, and you get real cash that you can cash out to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. Join over 50 million users and earn cash back every time you shop over 2,700 brands and retailers on Ibotta, including Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code LOCKEDONNHL when you register. Just go to the App Store, Google Play Store, and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back, and use code LOCKEDONNHL. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store, and use code LOCKEDONNHL. Now, the Hurricanes, again, are going to have some really tough competition tonight, folks. As I said earlier, the Florida Panthers are second in their division right now. But they are in second in the Atlantic Division with 78 points. They are right behind the Boston Bruins, who are in first at 79 points. So they're neck and neck there. Panthers are a really good team yet again. They have won 6 in a row. As I mentioned, both coming in on win streaks. Hurricanes 4 games. So man, they're going to have some tough competition. Their goaltending tandem of Bobrovsky and who is up? Anthony Stolarz. Here in the Hurricanes right up. No team in the East has allowed fewer goals than them, just an average of 2.43 per game, and both have been really good. Bobrovsky posted a .915 save percentage. Stolarz a .926 is second best among all NHL goalies that have played a minimum of 15 games. So you got to figure these guys definitely are going to be in contention for the Jennings trophy for best goalie tandem, much like Anderson and Raanta were a couple years ago when they won it. So yeah, they are really tough competition. Again, second in the Eastern Conference, second in the Atlantic, third in the NHL. They're crazy good right now. Continuing from the Hurricanes right up, Sam Reinhart has been guiding force on offense for the defending Eastern Conference champions, scoring 39 goals already this season. Only Austin Matthews has more with 49. Penalty special teams has also been very good for them. Both have been top 10 in the league. Power play at number 6, penalty kill at 4th. And yeah, that's going to be a battle that the Hurricanes, they have an edge in, but they are very, very evenly matched there. And the Hurricanes are really going to have their work cut out for them. Hurricanes ranked 3rd in the NHL in power play at 27.7. Panthers again ranked at 6th at 26 even. Penalty killing, Hurricanes at 3 at 84.1. Panthers 4th at 83.2. Yeah, very evenly matched here. The Hurricanes penalty killing percentage definitely took a bit of a hit there after that Chicago game. Where they allowed 2 power play goals. That's not something they typically do. And that's something they're really going to want to be able to bounce back from in this game. Not have a repeat of that, because that could really cost them in this game. Because this is really going to be a game where they all, like, the little dumb mistakes that we've talked about over these past few games, like poor play in the neutral zone. You can't be having that in this game, plain and simple. To put it bluntly, that's just not. You just can't do that here. It's going to end badly, because Panthers, again, they just beat you in the Eastern Conference Championship. All right, and this team is good. They're number 2 in the East. They're number 3 in the league. They're going to be in contention for the President's Trophy yet again. So they're right there in that mix for that top spot in the NHL. So they are really going to have their work cut out for them tonight. I cannot stress that enough. I think that the Hurricanes are really going to have to get out early in this game and set the tone, really take advantage of home ice here, whether it be the crowd noise, last change, whatever it may be. Really take every advantage you can of playing at home in this game, because, man, it's going to be a tough one. So, if people are, we'll just say, Spencer Martin is in net tonight, if they're chancing, if he makes a great save, and they start chanting his name, ride that energy down into Florida's zone, and create some pressure and potentially score a goal. Take any little advantage you can have in this game, because that's exactly what Florida is going to be doing. They're going to have seen that, oh, hey, in these past couple games, they've had some issues in the neutral zone. Let's try to exploit that. So the Hurricanes, they're going to have to be on their A game tonight, and we'll continue to dive into keys for the game right after this quick break, folks. Now, folks, we are all driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work and use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. So join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of the show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/locked-on. Just go to Indeed.com/locked-on right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/locked on. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Now, keys to the game tonight, folks, against Florida Panthers. As I was already talking about, the Hurricanes playing an A-plus game is going to be really, really important here. Be on their P's and Q's. Play a good team game, I think, is going to be another one that's going to be important, much like we saw in Chicago, where you had so many different guys contributing offensively. You're going to want something like that on offense. You're also going to want it on defense as well. You're going to want, everyone to be on their best defensive game as well. That's going to be really important tonight. They're just going to need a really good, well-rounded game, offensive, defensively, special teams, goaltending. Everything is going to need to be firing on all cylinders. And we know it can be done. It can be done. We've seen it. It's just going to be you're going to have it, because that one mess up in the neutral zone that leads to Panthers goal could be the deciding factor in a game like this. It really could be. Supporting goalie, we mentioned that a lot, but I do think that is definitely worth mentioning tonight because of the level of competition you're going against. Whether it be Spencer Martin, whether it be Pyotr Kochetkov, both are going to need their support. Martin, it would be his 5th game as a Hurricane, so he's obviously still getting used to things. And he has been playing really, really well, but this would also be his toughest competition yet as a Hurricane, or arguably his toughest competition yet as a Hurricane. He obviously did beat Boston in his debut, also beat Vegas. So, it's going to be a tough night for whichever goalie, because Fyodor Kochetkov, also having been out from being sick, as we talked about earlier, getting back in the groove of things could definitely be tough. If it's what I've had and what's been going around Raleigh that he has or had, I don't know if he still does or not. It wears you out. It really does. You really don't want to do anything, and you feel like crap. So, if he had that, he's going to need some help out there tonight. He really will. And he's going to need his guys out there, to do their job and, stop him. Obviously, I know he's got to stop the puck as well, but, he's going to need their help. They can't leave him out to dry. And, as I said, continue to spread the offense around. Bouncing back on special teams is also going to be really important here. You're going against top 10 units in this game, as I mentioned. Florida being ranked number 6 in power play and number 4 in penalty killing. So the Hurricanes do technically have an advantage here, but it's very, very close. So the Hurricanes power play has been rolling for the most part. You're going to be facing a very, very big test tonight. So be ready. The Hurricanes penalty killing is what I'm really looking at here. They had an off night against Chicago, allowing 2 power play goals. That does not happen very often. They're usually pretty lights out night after night. Every now and again, you may get 1, but that doesn't happen every night. So for Chicago to get 2, they're really going to have to bounce back here, because a team like Florida were to get 2, I don't know if you win in that one. I don't know if you win if Florida gets 2 power play goals now. And so that's going to be really important there for penalty killing to really bounce back and be the Hurricanes lights out penalty killing that we know it can be, the one that for the most pretty much since the beginning of December, or about the beginning of December, middle of December, had been the number 1 penalty killing unit in the NHL. I don't think on paper they are now, but you're going to want that team. You're going to want the team that's number 3 in the league in penalty killing. That's what you're going to want tonight. So if they can do that stuff, I think they're going to be all right. I do think they are Also, one thing I didn't write down here in my keys is shot selection. I think they're going to need to be really picky about their shot selection, and not have one of those games where they have like 50 shots on goal and 2 goals, where they just shoot to shoot. They basically use the logo on the goalie's jersey as a target, rather than something to avoid. You don't want a night like that. You're going to really want to be taking advantage of these guys' weaknesses, and they're going to have the work cut out for them. They got to be smart about their shot selection, but also, don't spend half of the period just passing the puck around either, because we've seen that where they just pass and never actually shoot the puck. Don't try to be cute or anything like that and make that extra pass that you don't need, because it may cost you in a game like this. So if they can do all that stuff, I think they'll be all right tonight. I definitely would like them at least. Obviously, I want them to come away with a win. But honestly, a game like this, if they can just say force overtime, come away with a point, I think would be really good. But it's also not going to be one that, if you lose 3-2, it's not necessarily one, like you're going to, well, depending on how it would happen, depending on how the loss would happen, it wouldn't be one that would necessarily sting as much had they like lost to Chicago or something like that. Florida's in the mix, for winning the Stanley Cup or going back. So you're going against the top team in the league. You got to give a top tier effort tonight. So if they can do that, they'll be all right. So make sure you're following the show along at LO_Hurricanes, myself at Jared Ellis _96. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave a comment down below. What are you looking forward to in tonight's game? Is it Seth Jarvis continuing his hot streak? Is it Jacob Slavin potentially tying Justin Falk or even breaking that record tonight? Let me know down in the comment section on socials. And as always, folks, let's go Canes.